Now see here, this girl ran away on her wedding just to join prostitution, and you won't believe how much she enjoys it.
You be a
Welcome to DOMITILLA, a Nollywood movie that boldly teaches us two things: that rich people might just be the root cause of prostitution, and the cure, well, serious heavenly prayers. The story kicks off at a traditional wedding where this Nai is about to marry a girl young enough to be his granddaughter. From her face alone, you can tell this babe is not feeling the marriage at all. And before anyone could say, "I do," she was already saying, "I'm out." She quickly started packing her bags to escape. And then her little sister caught her in the act, but she promised that she would come back for her. Bye-bye. Anyway, before she could even reach her boat ride, some people had already noticed her disappearance and were chasing her. Her friends tried to hold the men back. "Leave her, Joe," while she managed to escape. This babe, her name is Ekutos, and she no even want to reach her destination before she start to change clothes. Well, look at this pervert. You no go look front. Nonsense. She finally makes it to Lagos, where she's taken in by her childhood best friend, Uchenna, the same friend she once dreamed of starting a fashion brand with, called Cherry and Berry. You know, the fair one's cherry, the dark one's berry. You get the gist. Anyway, Uche baby is overjoyed to have her around, and before long, Ekutos is hustling all around, doing market runs for people, to ushering at events, basically taking any job that she could find. Now, there's this other babe called Whip. Yup, you guessed right. But you see this one, her own deep body. She followed the client home after he paid because, of course, for this place, it's pay before play. She excused herself to the bathroom and spat out the wine he gave her. Smart move, because guess what? The mumu had drugged it. Apparently, he brought his guys so they could run a train on her. As in, take turns. My girl overhears them, adjusts her wig. Piang! She pick race. What is small upstairs that she cannot jump from? She jumps, lands in a pool, keeps running until the first car she sees miraculously picks her up. Now, on the other side of town, police are chasing this big trafficking and organ harvesting gang. They finally catch one guy. See children, you go explain tire. But the kasala be say, this guy, he close him mouth, he no gree talk. And when the inspector steps out just to answer a phone call from the commissioner, an assassin sneaks in and kills the guy, just like that. The person running this whole operation is Madam V. And listen, you better not think of crossing her. This woman runs prostitution rings, and her clients, the wealthy politicians, and the Diego, the big men, the ones with money. If you don't have money, I beg just face front. But she doesn't stop at just trafficking and prostitution. She also does organ harvesting on the side. And as unlucky as Ekutos is, she happens to be a waitress at one of Madam V's parties one day. During the event, one drunk oga decided to grab her by the bum and even poured his drink on her. Guess who had to apologize? Ekutos. Imagine, she later apologized again to Madam V, and that was how the snake began her charm. Madam V started dropping her rich people wisdom, telling Ekutos how only the poor keep apologizing for things they didn't cause, while the rich never say sorry, even when guilty. And Ekutos, the poor girl is eating it up like fresh puff puff. She's even admiring Madam's outfit. Like, "Auntie, this your dress is giving." Next thing, she was showing her some of her dress designs. One caught Madam's eye instantly. She loved it so much and asked Ekutos to make it for her. And just like that, my people, Cherry and Berry finally had their first client. With their humble savings of 350,000 naira, they started sewing Madam V's custom dress. When the queen herself wore it and looked in the mirror, all she said was, "Delicious." My sister, that's not food though, that's approval. She gives Ekutos $5,000. It was joy. Come on, She and Uche baby dance and celebrate like they've both won the lottery. But you see, there's a popular saying attached to Wahala. He not a finish. Ekutos' phone rings. It's her little sister, crying that their mother wants to marry her off to one old man again. I don't know what's wrong with that woman. Using her children as bride price generators. But clearly, age is just a number to her. And the number must be 70 plus. The babe won't craze. It won't happen, But before I tell you what she did, let me introduce you to our new cast member, Pisayo. See, before this babe started kabashing with holy anger, just know Amata is wearing a skirt because by day she's in church And by night, she's outside in the club. Oga, come on out from her chest, Joe. But you see this kanji? The thing drags the man's hand back there again. And so she give him one, pick one. A wicked hot slap. Kasala don't burst. Even the club manager ran from office. And while everyone was busy separating the fight, Fisayo snuck into the manager's office, cracked his safe password, and stole a fat wad of dollars. But just as she was escaping, she ran straight into Farouk. Yes, the same assassin from earlier. Turns out, the club belongs to Madam V, meaning she don't buy market. All the same, Fisayo stole the money for a good reason. Her mother is dying and needs urgent surgery. But before she can get to the hospital with the money, she gets kidnapped by Farouk and his men. Meanwhile, on the other side, Equitos was getting deeper into Madam V's world. You see, he genuinely admired this woman. Her power, her class, her confidence. She wanted to be like her. And in her mind, if she could be like Madam V, she could finally take care of her family and protect her little sister. So that day, she said it out loud, I am ready to go all the way. And there it was, the moment Madam V had been waiting for. She handed Equitos a slick card. Written on it was one word, DOMITILLA. This, she said, will give you access to a world where anything and everything is possible. Equitos' eyes lit up with hope, and finally, her breakthrough. But what she didn't know was that Madam V specializes in giving people hope, only to collect it back with interest. That's exactly what she did to Fisayo too. She allowed her to leave with the money, but that kindness came at a cost. Next thing, he ships them off by boat to a private resort, DOMITILLA. Equitos befriends another babe there, snapping selfies, thinking it's vacation vibes, you know. Meanwhile, Whip, remember our hustler from earlier? Yup, she's there too. The trap caught her as well. Anyway, some of them know what they're here for, but Equitos doesn't. The moment she sees the sex party happening right in front of her, she runs to the toilet. Jeez, I need to explain again, but that's exactly what Madam V is good at. Let me tell you a story, my dear. Once upon a time, in ancient Rome, there was a slave girl called Domitilla. She used the snake, as in the pom-pom, between her legs to rise from slavery to royalty, becoming the mother of kings. She went further to explain that a well-tamed snake can rule rich men and bend kings. Like a real snake, Madam V began whispering sweet, dangerous nothings into Equitos' ear, painting pictures of luxury, freedom, and even promising to send her little sister abroad. And that was all it took. Equitos' last bit of sense, he packed him back so he base. She agreed, inevitably. Only one small issue though, our girl was still a virgin. When Madam V heard that, she smiled and said, delicious. Bro, like someone that had just seen Bitcoin, at $1. Because guess what? She immediately auctioned that purity. Like it was Jumia Black Friday. Highest bidder wins the main event. And when it was done, boy, pain, shame, disgust, the holy trinity of regret. I mean, she felt all of them at once. But before she could even cry well, Tega, Madam V's PA, or emotional damage controller, came in like, don't worry babe, we've all been there, you'll get used to it. Sadly, her new friend from the resort, yeah, she didn't survive the night. Her client, one Senator Bello, had weird, very demonic cravings, really. Man turned bedroom fun into So, the Nigerian edition. I mean, he tortured this poor girl till she died. Soon after, all those emotions Equitos thought she felt just disappeared. Wiped clean the moment she saw a credit alert of 2 million naira. Wow. But then came the real problem. How on earth was she going to explain the mysterious money to Uche baby? Of course, she couldn't. Now, with money in her pocket, Equitos set out to rescue her little sister, Ijoma. I know say you did reason say you go hard, Abby. Turns out that it was surprisingly easy. Just one expensive wrapper and 200k later, Mama suddenly became Mother of the Year. She was so ready to pray for the source of her wealth to expand. But here's the real gist. Inside the fancy clothes Equitos brought for Ijoma was a secret note telling her to escape through the window. So while Mama was saying her emotional goodbyes to her, waving happily, completely unaware that Ijoma was chilling inside the boot of the car. Nevertheless, Wahala just reaching final bus stop. The police discovered the dead girl's body, and guess whose picture they saw in the selfie she posted? Yup, Equitos. Now, let's check on Madam V's investment. She rented a small apartment for her working ladies, and 2 seconds, now she carried them enter feed. Whether the man get big boot or play off Mars or car. See wahala, even Tega wasn't spared, and her client this time, he wanted her to do the do with a dog. As how now? But she had no choice. She had to do it. Whether you have a son, a husband, or even a whole village waiting for you. You know concern Madam V, as long as you owe her money, she owns your body. But you see the filth she felt after that. No amount of detour fit clean and come out. So she decided, I am done. But the only problem? Madam V had receipts. Blackmail that could destroy her marriage, her whole life. This woman was just holding her soul like an actual remote control. Still, Tega couldn't take it anymore. So one day, when Madam V went to buy children, yup, you heard that right. Tega secretly tipped off the police. The inspectors stopped and searched their van, but nothing did yo. They let them through. But Madam V, she knew there was a rat in her house, and her favorite punishment was about to begin. Oh yeah, whip him. This was the commissioner of police who she had been paying to cover her dirty tracks. She now, una don't understand how Farouk take manage kill that driver for that station, eh? It was all Madam V's money at work. My sister, your aunt they pay you. Whip him, Joe. So, remember I told you Madam V was doing organ harvesting on the low? Yeah, that wasn't for decoration. Those poor children she bought from the orphanage, they were her human parts factory. She harvested organs and sold them to the highest bidders. And for those who couldn't pay up front, like Tega, who once bought a liver from her for her sick son, they owed her their souls, literally, until every naira plus interest and also inflation was paid. Soon enough, this corrupt commissioner. But wait first, okay, is your yansh? Anyway, he suspends Detective Dakpo with some flimsy accusations, and with Dakpo out of the way, things went smoothly for Madam V again. She even arranged travel documents for Chioma, Equitos' sister, to study abroad. The flight was in 2 days, too fast and too good to be true. But Equitos was over the moon. But you know who isn't into all this nonsense? Uche baby. She had snooped around, as good friends do usually do, and found condoms in Equitos' bag. See me this now. But Equitos just snapped. I'm not a small girl anymore. Please. Now, instead of Uche, Equitos started rolling with Fisayo, but not Whip. You see Whip? She thought the others were forming classy prostitutes, acting like they were better than her. She calls them out too, and when she does, she fights. Before the matter wear up finish, Fisayo come drop to say, now Whip, where they form hard gear, they cry every night before she sleep. Oh, emotional damage. And honestly, that wasn't cat though. The babe was fighting demons. A few days later, when Equitos wasn't around, she opened up to Fisayo. She confessed that she was sexually abused by strangers and neighbors as a child, all while her mother was too busy working to notice. She had grown to hate her mom and even God for keeping quiet through it all. Fisayo, being the soft soul she is, hugged her tight. Meanwhile, while all this drama was going on, Equitos got herself kidnapped by none other than Detective Blessing. It turns out they had finally found her and needed her help to break down Madam V. But even after hearing about the dead girl from Domitilla, Equitos still refused, claiming she barely knew her. That's just cold. But you know that old saying, if it never happened to you, you not go know. So, Equitos was choosing peace over problems. But still, she collected his card, just in case. But Madam V, that woman is like rain. She must touch everybody. She calmly revealed that Chioma had safely landed abroad. But before Equitos could even think of speaking to her, she would need to cough up 120 million naira plus interest and inflation. But I did the math, guys. And then, that's a lot of bodies, so per 2 million naira. I mean, even with serious depreciation. But at that point, Equitos' eyes finally opened. And sharp, she called Detective Dayo. And of course, he didn't come alone. He brought Tega too. Meanwhile, on the softer side of the story, Fisayo decided to take Whip, whose real name is Promise by the way, to see her recovering mom. And plot twist, her mother turned out to be kind of a pastor. Oh, Chimo. Anyway, the small visit did something big inside of Promise, and she reached out to her mom. She wanted to start over, to forgive, reconnect, and leave clean. For once, there was peace in her heart. And just when it looked like everyone was finding light, Equitos and Tega came up with their own plan, a final way out of Madam V's nightmare. The plan was simple, well, sort of. They needed access to Madam V's dark website, the one where she booked clients, sold organs, and ran her evil empire. The only way in? A password, and who better to get it from Senator Bello, the same man who killed girls for fun. They did small tumbo, and it landed on Equitos. She would have to be the bait. While she was getting prepped by the senator, Fisayo and Promise handled security. They attacked the guard outside, and Fisayo stormed in. Hey! Bam! She hit his head with a mallet. And after a little friendly persuasion, the guy gave them the password. You know, go drop anke. But just when you thought they would make it, come on, get her from here. While our boss again, Madam V had already killed the senator and pinned the murder on the four of them. And to make it worse, he pinned his phone on Detective Dayo. Meanwhile, Farouk and his men tracked them down. The girls ran for their lives, but while in hiding, Fisayo's mom called after seeing the news. Genge. That phone call exposed their hideout. And just like that, they were caught. Meanwhile, Dayo, who they tried to kill, overpowered his way and killed the officer in a fight that looks, totally real and believable. Now, in the grand finale, Madam V plays her signature move, targeting loved ones, and she brings Uche Baby to the mix, kills her, and reveals the big difference between the rich and the poor. Wasn't that nonsense, as she told us earlier, but that the rich gives and takes as they please. At the same time, Promise was killed, and Fisayo was knocked out for organ harvesting. And while we thought the curtain she used to cover her face was high fashion, it turns out it was covering a scar that is as ugly as she is. But the twist was, their mission was never just about the password. The real goal was to catch Madam V red-handed. The detectives had given Equitos a necklace with a tracker, and it led straight to her lair. Just as Madam V was about to stab Equitos, Dayo appeared from behind. Oya, chop slap. Her entire empire came crashing down. Children rescued, and Madam V in handcuffs. But was she scared? Not even close. She just laughed like a raging mad woman, proud of the chaos she had left behind. Equitos wouldn't see her sister anytime soon. Tega's husband walked out after the blackmail photos surfaced. Equitos' mother disowned her, and Fisayo's mom brought prophets to Kabash and cleansed her head. In the end, none of them went back to a good life, just different shades of broken. And don't think we forgot you, Mr. Commissioner. Come here. Detective Blessing finally used nepotism for something useful and got his uncle, a high-ranking officer, to strip the corrupt man of his position. And with that, guys, we've reached the end of Domitilla, directed by Zeb Ejiro and now streaming on Kava TV. Let us know if you plan on checking it out. And that's a wrap for today's video. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, like, subscribe, and until next time, on Worthy of Recap.